I feel I should forewarn you that this video will probably offend basically everyone who uses the internet. Why? Because it's about how much I don't like emoticons and internet speak. This is one of those weird subjects where I don't like it. I don't like these things. I don't like them on my screen, but they're there, and I don't actually associate not liking them with people. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't really not like people for using it, but I don't like it. You know, it's weird. It's one of those weird relationships with things where you don't care if people do it, but you don't like it. I used to be rabidly against emoticons. I would just, if I saw them anywhere, which obviously you would see all the time, I would just be like, what is this crapola on my screen right now? But considering the amount of hours I spend on the internet daily, I've sort of become accustomed to seeing emoticons and internet speak. And in fact, I've come to see like an advantage of using emoticons. In the internet, it's hard to sort of express the intended emotion behind the statement, but it becomes very easy for people to misinterpret things that you say and put their own version of you into it. So in that way, emoticons are actually useful. I still hate them. I think a reason I hate them is because they're made out of punctuation, so I'm just like, no, that's not the use of a semicolon. Do you know what the use of a semicolon is? And it's also, it's sort of like, it's not really representative of reality. People sort of overuse them and abuse them. Like, people just use it instead of actual punctuation. So you have like, hey there, Natalie, I'm going to the market. It's, instead of using a comma and a full stop, it's, hey there, Natalie, I'm going to the market. And people who use winks, why are you winking at me? Are you suggesting that we go into a room together and I don't even want to know what we're doing in there. Are you seriously winking at me in real life? Are you going, hey Hayden, that's a nice lampshade? I literally just saw my lampshade, so that's why that was an example. And who smiles like a D? It's scary. It's scary. You people are scary people. And those ones with crazy eyes are like, no one's eyes are this big. And poking tongues, which is actually a P. Ow! I just strained my face from trying to do that. It's not natural, people. You're not actually poking your tongue out at me when you do this. And then there's people who use them to like really obviously like thinly veil insults and personal attacks on people. Just because you put a smiley face at the end of it, Natalie, doesn't mean you get to tell Sarah that her face looks like a clown. I'm uninviting you to the marketplace now because that's not acceptable behaviour and I don't want to be friends with you anymore, Natalie. OMG, Sarah, your face looks like a clown. But now, internet speak. I think I can pretty safely declare war on internet speak. Internet speak is, I'm narrowing that definition down to acronymous shortenings of words, like LOL and OMG and BRB and ruffle. I mean, I'm probably offending like every single person I know right now. But to me, it's sort of born out of society's growing laziness. Like, that's the direction society is going in, to make everything easy. And this is another step. You don't have to use language to its full extent anymore. English? What is that? Like, I think OMG and LOL are actually in a dictionary somewhere. God forbid. God forbid. And it gets ridiculous, like a string of 10 letters. And I'm like, what is this thing that I see in my screen? I do not understand what you're trying to tell me. Like, emoticons, maybe I could see myself using them sometime in the future when they become so integrated in society that I have to. But internet speak? Never. I will never give in. Ever. Thankfully, I'm an actually stubborn person who, at least on a subconscious level, purposely tries to veer away from things that are socially accepted. But no, I do not accept your little letter things. No. And in fact, all this shortening and stuff came about because of the rise of text messaging. It's plugged in, so it's text messaging, and when we had a character limit on text messages, so we had to shorten everything down to fit it in. God knows why we couldn't just send multiple text messages, and it costed more money to send text back then. So it was like, well, why would I spend extra money on a text when I can just bastardize the English language and make it less expensive for me? I recall the first time I heard someone say OMG or lol in a conversation. No, actually I cannot recall that because I probably repressed it. But I can imagine what I would have been like. I sort of have this vague inclination that I was like offended and I got angry at them. That's my thoughts on the things that are talked about. Bye guys!